remember the very first day that we were at the club, and I got an immediate sense that this place had some really good, positive energy. Kind of place and the kind of program where a kid could come in knowing very little or basically nothing about the game. And if they stuck with it for those years, long enough, and they were into it, that by the time they left the program, they could be on their way to a college scholarship or, getting up on the medal stand at an Olympic ceremony. And my first reaction, first impression was absolutely the way I felt every day of that season. The Laguna Beach Volleyball Club is an innovative college prep volleyball organization dedicated to the development of junior volleyball players aged 10 through 18. The club's focus goes far beyond merely teaching skills. It also emphasizes the competitive nature of the game, as well as the social aspects like building of friendships, respectful relationships, sportsmanship, and ethical play. Michael Cellular is the club's director.
Yeah, 12s, go! Philosophy is really make sure we'll let them have fun, but at the same token, we want them to be the best volleyball players they can be. So we push our kids here, so hard work is going to pay off.
My husband and I own the club, and my husband's been doing this for 30 years, and he loves teaching and coaching boys and girls. And his specialty is offering full scholarships to university. He gets them scholarships. He knows the recruiters and the coaches. So that part's fabulous. Parents love that.
Most of the players on the Hobbit 12s were 11 and 12-year-olds that had very limited experience with organized volleyball. At the start of the season, they were novices to the game with limited skills. But that was all about to change. The team was coached by Hava Davis. He was the kind of coach that we all wish we had when we were participating in youth sports, but unfortunately, for most of us, we rarely, if ever, did. Hava had an enormously positive influence on his players. He impacted them top to bottom. Not just on their skills per se, but equally as much on their conduct on the court, their standards of sportsmanship, and their relationship with their teammates, officials, and opponents. Most of all, the girls admired him greatly, and they sure came to appreciate what would be the coach's version of tough love. I was at a lot of the practices during the season, and what impressed me most about Hava's coaching style was his commitment to discipline and repetition and running through those drills. Go. 1, 2, 1, 1, go. Another thing about the way Hava would run these practice sessions that made a huge impact on me was the intensity of it all.
Inside, because she's going that way. Guys, go in here. Going that way. Ball. You guys stay there. You guys stay there. You guys stay there.
Look, this wasn't getting girls together for leisurely, kind of hit the ball around and chit-chat and take a lot of snack breaks. And now this was about dedication and hard work.
Okay, each group of 3, I'm gonna hit one ball and then you rotate off. It'll go very quickly, okay? Wing diggers, middle back is off the court, there, go.
Lava sort of put a little pressure on us, which made us do our best and try our hardest so we could get refreshing water.
If you're middle, go off the court middle back. Salih, your left side, so go off the court left side. Only middles in the middle, good. Rotate, go. Now I'm gonna say ball, defense. Ball. Go. Ball. Rotate, go, rotate, right? As soon as that ball's served, I want you to switch quick. I don't want you to stand around. The biggest problem that we have sometimes is that we get kind of slow and tired and comfortable, and we just kind of start cruising instead of continuing to work hard, right?
This wasn't a guy who was just going through the motions. I mean, every move, every hit, every pass, every serve, Hava would analyze and comment on. And that meant the world to all of us.
And so I think we need a hard coach.
After a couple of months of rigorous practices, the Hava 12s finally got a chance to show their stuff. It was tournament time. In our first tournament, we were placed in a 4-team pool and had 3 matches scheduled. How did we do? Well, you just needed to watch the action on the sidelines and the stands to answer that question. The actual stats told a similar story. But hey, it was just our first one. Just 2 weeks later was tournament number 2. We broke our losing streak, and we actually won not only our first game, but our first match. We beat a team that was 0-8 coming into our tournament, and they had lost their last 2 games, 25-2 and 25-0, but hey, a win was a win.
I remember early in the season, it seemed like, I didn't keep track, but it seemed like 3 out of 4 of our serves would go out of bounds or hit the net. Second half of the season, Megan served 14 in a row.
And everyone's gotten better from the first game. From the first game we ever played, we lost all our games. From last game we played, we won all 3 games, so that's really improved.
The team's pretty snazzy. It's very snazzy.
It's terrific.
Exceptional.
Wonderful. Incredible. Awesome. Fantastic. Fabulous. Outstanding. Phenomenal. Incredible.
It's fantastic.
Unbelievable.
You know, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like winning was everything, but parents were really into this, and we were really into watching the games in a competitive way, and we liked when we were winning. And as we started to roll on and on towards the end of the season, we were really winning a whole lot more than we were losing. I started to notice that the parents were taking on a little bit of a swagger as well.
That's my kind of match. Get crunched pretty good the first game, come back, play tough the second, and the third, win with authority. What was the score? 15-4, 15-3? Could have been 115-3.
The dad started dressing like rock stars for the games. And you know, all that stuff with those tables of food and tents and all that, that was
That was for the other teams. You know, we were starting to think like, that's a little more for, like, all that picnicking stuff is kind of like for sissies. What we were there for was one thing: volleyball.
Match of the season right here. I'm excited. Very excited to watch.
I'll tell you this, I really don't know what I'm going to be doing in the weekends to come. I looked forward to these tournaments. Not that they're an hour or two, but the longer the better. I would always feel like, you know, some of the games where if they had won the first game and they were up by 4 or 5 and almost closing out the second game, I was kind of hoping they'd lose because at least I'd get a third game in.
Sad. It seems like they're just kind of coming into their own. They're just starting to gel with one another, learn the rotations, get comfortable, and now it's over.
It was once said, now is not the end. Now is not even the beginning of the end, but it is, perhaps, the end of the beginning. I still don't know exactly what he actually meant by that, but for me at least, it has some relevance here as our season comes to a close. On the one hand is the eager anticipation of the new beginning, next season, and on the other is coming to grips with the end of the season that's just passed. We had a single-minded reason for producing this film, and that was to attempt to capture the essence of what it was like to experience firsthand the Hava 12's 2010 season. As I reflect back, I'll admit to having mixed emotions. On one hand is the genuine sadness that the season has in fact come to an end. Yet the flip side is the recognition that all of us have received the most valuable of gifts, cherished memories that will endure for a lifetime. There are experiences in one's life where one clearly distinguishes between what things are and what things mean. And for me, this season was a perfect case in point. You see, what this was, plain and simple, was about a sport called volleyball and a team that played the game. Yet what this season meant was all about, well, you know.